Since my 20-year illness has led me to live part-time here in Paris, I've been inspired by the way many Parisian women, I believe, excel at aging in a graceful, natural way while making the most of what they've got. As I walk along the street here, some mature Parisian women take my breath away just as much as the young ones can. As a college student living here in Paris, I often felt smitten by some older French women. I wasn't drawn to them because they looked young for their age. Rather, they dazzled me with their mysterious chic aura and ultra-feminine confident way of moving down the street. In those moments, I felt as if I was glimpsing a snow leopard, and I'd think to myself, someday I hope I look like them. It made me want to stop and ask them, please tell me, what is your secret? It helps that Parisians marinate in a country whose people tend to appreciate a mature woman's beauty the way that they do wine. That is, they tend to see that young wines have certain characteristics, older wines have other qualities, and that there is much to enjoy about both. One of France's best-known movie stars, Parisian Catherine Deneuve, is considered by many here to be a babe at age 70. An icon of beauty and elegance, she was photographed this year wearing only her lingerie. A New York Times writer recently saw her at a film festival and said, "She looked like a human being who was only just beginning to embody her specialness." Deneuve's babe status, I believe, reflects the French ability to appreciate that a woman's beauty and mystery can build with time, that as more layers of herself open up and she radiates more life experiences, she can become even more fascinating. Parisians often attribute the source of a woman's beauty to her inner self, whereas I find we Americans tend to believe the source comes from one's outer physical characteristics. For example, legendary Parisian couture designer Yves Saint Laurent, who saw plenty of beautiful women wearing his stunning clothes, once said, "The greatest beauty for a woman is passion, but makeup is easier to buy." 57-year-old Parisian model and style icon Inès de la Fressange also believes in passion as a source of beauty and says that past a certain age a Parisian woman doesn't examine her face for wrinkles because she knows that as she ages, her overall allure is far more important. I believe that we Americans tend to define beauty in a narrow way. For instance, how we often think that to be beautiful you must be young with an unlined face, and that this view can limit our potential to be attractive on the outside by leading us to feel insecure and ill at ease on the inside. It's common for mature American women who once lived in Paris to say that in France they felt appreciated and enjoyed, but when they returned to the US they felt invisible. Our tendency to define beauty through our exterior appearance and age may partially explain why Americans get far more plastic surgery than Parisians. And when Parisians get plastic surgery, a well-known French plastic surgeon here says, the goal tends to be to keep the natural beauty and charm of each individual woman, not to fit some current ideal of beauty. Actress Isabella Rossellini, daughter of movie star Ingrid Bergman, says that the first question she gets asked when she's interviewed in the United States is, "What do you do to stay young?" Rossellini's reply is that she doesn't see aging as a problem, that she's very surprised that Americans tend to see aging as physical decay, when she has found midlife to be a time of incredible freedom. Our negative American views on aging, I believe, and the way we tend to rebel against it and try to defy it by trying to turn back the clock to our youth, is influenced by the fact that we're a young country and a melting pot of different cultures. So we don't yet have mature, evolved ideas about aging, and we lack role models for women who are aging gracefully who are considered to be babes. Our negative American views on aging, I believe, contribute to prejudice and discrimination toward women of a certain age. It wasn't until I began living here in recent years that I believe I've cracked the code of the secret I wanted to know when I was in college, about what makes so many mature Parisian women look so captivating and fabulous. I'll share my discovery with you in an upcoming part 2 of this video. Look in the description below for links to buy my book, to subscribe to my videos, and to see Catherine Deneuve trying on clothes at Yves Saint Laurent.